Yo guys, today we're doing a community wish list I have been putting together while streaming on Twitch. I've been asking chat for about a week for suggestions, and here's what we have come up with. As far as the basis I wanted to follow, we are not going over anything they have already mentioned they are working on, and I have stayed away from, for the most part, changing anything that makes the game money. Yes, I'm aware Moxie did something similar to this months ago, but someone has to pick up the mantle, so here we are. Feel free to add your suggestions down in the comments. We will probably do one of these a season around the mid-season point. So now let's get into it. First, we are going to start this out with a very hot topic, Freyna and her mobbing dominance. Not all, but many in my Twitch chat agree that Contagion is too overpowered and ruins the fun of all mobbing content in the first Descendant. After I myself have built many Descendants for mobbing, I have come to realize Contagion is in need of a nerf. I think also addressing Bunny should be in consideration, though I don't see her as dominant once the content gets harder, but in the current group content, if there is a Freyna or a Bunny in your group, prepare to not have fun and just walk through the dungeon with your finger in your butt. The mobbing content is actually a blast, and a lot of Descendants are very fun to mob on when you remove these two from it, and I don't think many realize that because of how strong they are. Next, a very important topic is XP. Making builds on TFD is the best part of the game, and any type of XP bottleneck is bad. For example, Void Vessel being the newest piece of content and giving nowhere near a good amount of XP is a bad choice in my opinion. Other ideas to help with XP are more Catalyst invested in a Descendant should give more XP, a pretty simple concept. Every time a Catalyst is used on the Descendant, they unlock a permanent 2% XP boost. After using a certain number of Catalysts, maybe 15, no more leveling, or a new craftable catalyst that doesn't reset your level, only available from the most in-game activities. While on the topic of catalysts, this has been mentioned many times and I will bring it up again. Being able to craft multiple catalysts should be a thing. I see no reason if someone has the mats, they should be able to fill all their crafting slots with catalysts if they would like. Up next, we need to up the cap on mods or add auto dismantle. Since the dog was added, I feel like my mods and when I'm playing with chat, their mods are full constantly and we're having to go back to Albion to auto dismantle. This is something for the endgame players, a stabilizer to up the percentage of getting catalyst blueprints. When I'm 2,000 hours into the game, this is the most important item I need, and I'm killing the same Colossus for the 500th time. It is not fun to get more junk I don't want. Add a stabilizer to the newest in-game activities that drops a universal stabilizer to up the percentage for catalyst blueprints that can be used on any amorphous material. Although I know the rework of Outposts is coming for Season 3, I would still like to give my input on it. It would be nice to see some type of public open world activity in the game. Even though the open world lobbies only hold 4 players, something of a public event style gameplay may be similar to the final fight in Void Vessel, with mechanics that vary. And as for rewards, this could be a good way to bring in more component sets to the game, a chance at God Roll Reactors, and of course Catalyst Blueprints and any energy activated blueprints are also welcome. Some kind of weekly community goals in-game. This is being done with the online event right now, but this would be great to see in-game. Kill 5 million Colossus, complete 2 million 400% dungeons, kill a certain amount of monsters, etc. We get rewards as a community, catalyst, energy activators, so on. Something to do with Kuiper. I know a lot of new players are hearing this and saying, what are you, dumb? I need Kuiper bad. But once you get past a certain point in the game, you have way too much. For example, I have 55 million Kuiper, so to see a Kuiper exchange vendor would be great. Exchange for gold, crafting mats, maybe once a week you can exchange for a catalyst blueprint or an energy activated blueprint. More Descendant utility mods. Not much I can explain here besides give an example, but some builds, mainly gun-based builds, have 2 to 3 mod slots that nothing is worth putting in, so I would suggest more skill casting speed mods, weapon change speed, split range and duration mods, movement speed, grapple cooldown, and extend grapple range, just a few we can think of. And adding on to that, better melees, something I know the devs are already working on. Just wanted to bring it up since it was mentioned a lot when we were going over ideas on stream. I imagine though this is something they are already in the process of. More vault space. For the most part, I stayed away from what makes the game money because I believe the game should be able to make as much money as it needs, but more vault space is needed, and this is a good compromise compared to asking for more bag space, as vault space is great, but still not as convenient as Backspace. A ready up feature for parties. This would be great quality of life. A lot of people group up in this game without joining any kind of voice chat at all. So when the leader goes to queue for something, the rest of the party should have a chance to ready up before it is launched. A farm for ion accelerators would be great. This has become a huge bottleneck for many. Between the gold cost, time to craft, and the amount of quantum crystals, then add on mounting and making Reactor 5, we need more of these available to farm. Staying with reactors, make the first slot changeable. When we have fully upgraded to rank 5 and mounted twice, we should be allowed to remount that first slot. I would also suggest that when we have made that much investment in a reactor, we should be able to reroll, not the actual substats, but reroll for a chance at a higher number. And one more note for reactors, we should be able to dismantle reactors we have invested in and receive a good portion of the investment back. And next, this is going to be a lot of Colossus talk. This one is simple. More Colossus fights like Deathstalker and Gluttony. Infernal Walker is a good idea and a good mix-up from the norm and endgame, but the fight is just not good. We want mechanics in the fight, not circle around the Colossus till he stops the attack pattern that will one-shot you, or the Haley method, do as much damage as you can, die, respawn, repeat. Next, for Colossus, add a page for Colossus that describes their mechanics, giving a better explanation of their weaknesses and strengths. This would be very helpful for new players. For example, the Deathstalker page currently suggests 5k shield. Well, all of us that have actually built for this know that this is not realistic, and a more detailed explanation of the debuffs that a Colossus might put onto the Descendant, especially when the Colossus is no longer the newest one to help with pub lobbies. Remove weapons from Colossus drops and replace with more components. That one is pretty simple. And you must be level 40 to queue for any hard Colossus. Also pretty simple. No reason anyone should be in a hard Colossus fight without being level 40. Go level. Another big improvement would be improving the lab, including the ability to use mods at max level, add a Colossus to spawn, and a DPS meter, and maybe allowing a group of 2 to be in there for testing of buffs and so on. Also, being able to inspect a player's Descendant would be great when trying to make a group. You want to see what each player has, or in general when trying to help someone with their build, it would be nice to see what they are using. As for some of my personal thoughts, and people hear me say a lot on stream, I think 3 Descendants in a season is a bad idea. I would rather get less Descendants and more content. My biggest concern also with so many Descendants is within a year from now, we could be somewhere around having close to 30 Descendants in the game, which for a new player trying to get into this game is going to be a lot to look at and will probably make most uninstall with the amount of grind that this game already has. So more content, less Descendants, less worries about cosmetics. And that covers everything I thought we should cover when working with chat on this. My hopes for this game are very high, and the devs do a terrific job. They work extremely hard. I applaud and thank them for that, and I look forward to what they bring to this game in 2025. Please leave any of your own wish list ideas down in the comments. A like and subscribe is very much appreciated. Thanks, guys. Peace.